I just have to go back then. Okay, let me start all over again. All right, so let's start again. Welcome. Good thing. All right, sorry about that. The sound is muted. All right, reading it. All right, welcome. Thank you for attending the short talk. This is basically breakdown. This is breakdown into 10 segments. So we'll start off today with I want to start shooting video, which is the course introduction of what we're going to cover in the next 10 sessions. To buy or not to buy, which is the camera essentials of like your current camera and what you're using right now. Let's see if we need to upgrade, if we need to do something about it, or we can make use of the existing cameras. Okay, then the third one is one of the most important part is the camera movement. So this we will be discussing on how to use the tripods, the gimbals, if you have different kinds of shots, approach, and how to use them. Okay, in April 26th, which is Ramadan, it'll be 5 o'clock in the afternoon UAE time. I can't hear you, basically. The subject matter is essential audio. As you have noticed, we just experienced audio problem right now, so we'll tackle all those regarding audio, sound recorders, and all that. Okay. April, May 3 would be I can't see you, so it's more of lighting. It's more of settings on the camera and the positioning of lights. I'll be drawing diagram. It's unfortunate that we can't really demo it in live, so we will be drawing diagram and try to understand all that. Okay, I'm still receiving no audio, no audio. Okay, audio is back now. All right, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, on May 10, which is our 6 sessions, will be gears and their usage. So we'll be covering what cameras you'll have. We'll try to guide you through. I do have all the Nikon DSLRs here and mirrorless as well. So we'll tackle all those and lenses that we use and how to use them and when to use them. Okay, on May 17, which is also 5 p.m., which is still Ramadan, let's get this done. It's the workflow from shooting, copying the files, preparing your gears, backing them up, and all that. So I'll be doing a hands-on quick edit, not a thorough edit, because again, due to time period, we will tackle just a short bit and pieces of the key essentials on the workflow. On the 24th, we'll go back since it's after Ramadan already, so we'll start editing. So I've seen a lot of self-taught editors looking online and reading online. It's totally different. There's a lot of loopholes on their style and their approach of editing. So we'll tackle that also, and we'll tackle the ways and the fastest way how to edit properly. Right? So on May 31, we'll be teaching the topic subject matter is let's go live. It's an essential live streaming edit. Yes, Mortada, it's recorded, so feel free to do a replay later on. Okay, on May 31, 7 p.m., let's go live. It's essential on live streaming like we're doing right now. The tips and tricks on how we tackle issues and problems just right now. Like a few minutes ago, I had an issue with the audio, so those instance problems with streaming, latency, delays, and configuration from low end, from a laptop, mobile phone, to high end production quality. All right, and lastly, it will be kind of in an advanced mode, advanced level, which is essential recording, external recording, apologies. It's more of the recording raw. In my line of business and my work, I seldom use RAW, especially in weddings, since I'm a wedding photographer and videographer. All right, so we usually use recording RAW and commercials or some of the high-end works. All right. We're currently live o- on Nikon Facebook page, on Nikon MEA. Hi from Saudi, Lebanon, Oman, Kuwait, Kenya, Egypt, South Africa, Qatar, Pakistan, Mauritius, and yeah, Mauritius. So hi everyone, welcome. So for today's talk is I want to start shooting videos. This is a course introduction of a series of 1 out of 10 talks. It's more on event videography. Yes, basically that's it. Okay, so what are the target audience here? The target audience are people who are photographers who wanted to start shooting videos. If obviously majority here has DSLR already, and you wanted to try or to fully utilize the power of your DSLR, and this would be the session for you. I would need basic knowledge in photography is essential because we won't be discussing settings and all. It's more of the approach and how to use them in a real scenario. Yeah, basically that's it. Okay, guys, I just need since this is live, and since this is basically I need interaction from you guys. I need hi, hellos, ask question anytime you want. Just say hi. Just say hi. Okay. So while we're at it, I just need to understand what you do. If you're a photographer or you're a current videographer already, and where are you located? Where are you from? Please do let me know. It would be a big help. So please do that while I'll discuss a few more items. Okay. Right, let me switch to transition. Okay, guys. Yes, please do say hi, hello. Right. The chat is technically up here, so I could view it. So please do say hi, Egypt. All right, guys, just keep on coming, keep on coming. I just want to see them. All right, while we're discussing. Okay, hubby is here, based in Dubai. Okay, Dubai. All right, perfect. Oh, my slide is not moving. Okay, there. About me. So I'm basically a photographer and videographer. I'm a Nikon D850 brand ambassador. I've been in photography. I've been in the industry for 18 years now. So been doing this quite some time. So we've done close to 3,000 weddings here in Dubai. I've been here for 12 years. So imagine the volume, and that's a lot of weddings. So since everyone is stuck at home, we're here now to study and learn a lot. Okay. Photography, happy from Yemen. Oh wow. Hi. Kenya. Videographer, photographer. I'm photographer, Nikon Z6. I like to talk about video more. Yes, basically, Chada, this is the perfect session for you. We'll be covering a lot of those. Okay, so okay, I have a few quotes here, which is basically three quotes which I believe in. If someone can think of that shot, then that's an ordinary shot. This is applicable to both photo and video because it's if anyone could technically see it, then it's ordinary shot. So for us pros, we need to be more creative. We need to be of better than the ordinary people. So how do you become extraordinary? It's more of, don't compare. Never compare your work or follow anyone's work. What you see online, or what you see online is basically just a guide. Improve those and try to be better. Okay. So I'll give you one example. Let's say we'll start off with photo because it's easier to explain, because since we're starting off on the basic part. So let's say there's an ordinary photo. Um, I give an ordinary user with the same lens, the same camera. And the example would be, there's a waterfalls. If there's a waterfalls and you give it to an ordinary user or even a mobile user, the first thing they would take is basically the person and the waterfalls. No movement, no angles. So what I'm trying to say is, to be extraordinary, even with the same lens, the same camera, you would create a different angle. You move with emotion, and you do echo the sound of what's happening. So that's how we translate an ordinary photo to an extraordinary photo. Okay, so, all right. So another one is, there's this saying that a photo tells 1,000 words. Do you agree on this? Right? So a lot of photographs you would see a lot of photographs like, oh wow, photographs would tell a story. Okay, so here's one example at the background. As you can see, it's a bride waiting. Okay, so that alone signifies a story. It tells a story of what's happening. It tells the bride is eagerly waiting. Okay, so if the bride is waiting, then that tells a lot of story already out of that picture. But in video, it does not. You can't take that shot or angle alone, right? It's totally different. Okay, so if a photo tells 1,000 words, then video tells 5,000 words per second. If I'm in an audience of higher levels, they would laugh at this because technically this is a joke. But unfortunately, I won't be able to see your reaction or if you get my joke. The reason why it's 50,000 is since we're in the Middle East and it's 50 frames per second multiplied to 1,000 words. So that's 50,000. Anyway, it's a bad joke. Okay, here's some of our works. Our website is www.studio.k. Please do feel free to check it. I seldom upload it. I seldom upload because some of them we've signed a non-disclosure agreement. Please do follow us on Instagram, which is Studio K International. Okay. Let me prepare the sample videos. Okay. For a while, let me go back again. So let me replay it. Sorry, guys. Let me just replay it. This sucks. All right, wait. Okay, apologies. Let me do that again. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so those are one examples of our work for 2020. The next sample would be technically using a Z50 on an handheld. We'll go through a lot of examples in the later stage. So we'll break down each item or each shot that we did. So please feel free. Again, please feel free to say hi, hello. We're reading it right now. Just want to know what kind of photographer are you, or videographer, or why are you here and where are you from. Please feel free. All right. Next would be another one, which is the Z50 on a handheld. This is a totally different feel again. So.
You always find me here when the world thinks that I've disappeared. You know just where to look. You know just where to look. And you have a heart of gold. And I look forward to growing old, 'cause I'll be old with you. Oh, I'll be old with you. The moon awaits the night. The sun awaits the day. Yeah, and I'll await the time when I'll look you in and say, oh, I'll say I do. I do, I do, I do, I do. I do, I do, I do.
All right, guys. So as you can see, those are shot using handhelds. So we'll discuss that in the future sessions. This client gave us 45 minutes to shoot all this. They were so busy, and we didn't have enough time, but we still managed to pull away with it. All right. So what's one of the most important thing in a video? Can anyone answer that? It would help. All right, so let's do interaction again. So what's one of the most important thing in a video? In a video. All right, when creating a video, okay, wrong button. Gets confusing when you have 3 laptops in front of you. All right, so music makes the video, right? It's one of the most important thing when creating a video, music. Okay, do you agree on this? Like, as you could see, if I turn off the music of what I just shown you, it'll be a totally different feel. The music really changed everything. So example, if we have a bride and it's like walking, and we change the music to a suspense music, that would be like a bride is going to kill the groom, right? So it really creates the feel and the emotion of what you're going to convey in the video. Okay, but remember in the 1960s, in the 1950s, where there's no music, right? So there was no music at that time. So everyone was like watching a silent movie. So how so, right? People still watch the video. People still watch movies, even if it's silent. But why? Okay, simply because a story does. The story tells everything. The story creates the video. I can't move the icon, so I have to read it from the left side. Apologies. Okay, story behind the music. The story. Yes, correct, Krista. Correct. Yeah, it's the story does. So regardless of if there's no music to it and you still have the story, people will still understand what's happening. People would still you would still convey the message. You would still relay and tell your audience or your people watching that what you're trying to say, because that's one of the most important thing. So music is helps create or builds the story. So if you put in a melodramatic music, it shows calmness. If you put in a slightly suspense or a faster pace music, it gives you excitement. So those two work hand in hand to convey or telling the story. Okay? So again, music makes the video. So does the story. Okay? I have to read it from here because I can't pull chat the chat on the right side of the window, so it gets confusing sometimes. Okay? So let's go to the next slide. So so how do we tell the story? What often happens is you tell a long and boring story. That's where we come in. That's how this session would help you create all those to make it less boring in some ways. So it used to be like before the internet, after internet and all that. Before the internet, everyone was like watching a video. We had a Betamax before, so it was like huge and all that. So we get to record everything. There's no art to it. There's nothing to it. So it's just documentary. It's long. It's boring. Um, we and nowadays, some of the clients, especially in the Arabic market, would still want those long videos because for memories. But we call them. I always tell the client like we try to make a video that would make it as interesting as it can be, even though it's the full video and you don't have to fast forward it. I'm referring to events and weddings. So the objective of doing a long video is to remove the boring part, to make it slightly exciting. Okay, there was a study before 2015. The attention of each person watching a video was on an average of 5 minutes. So let's say YouTube in 2015, people stay and watch a video for 5 minutes average. Okay. In 2017, it's now 2 to 3 minutes. So the attention of people, you need to capture them in that very short period of time. But guess what? What's happening now in 2020? The attention of people is now less than 60 seconds. Why are stories so effective? Why are Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and now TikTok, why are they short? Why are they so short in a way very effective? The reason why is it's short, simple, and tells the story. Although I hate TikTok, sorry. I still don't use it because I find it really weird. But again, it tells the story. Short, simple. So that's the objective of it. So you keep it short and you keep it exciting in a way that people would be enticed in watching the full video. Okay, so I have a few questions here, which I'll try to answer a little while one by one. So I have a I have a Q&A in a few more minutes, so we're almost done. Basically, this is a 30 to 45-minute session, and we'll do all that in after a few more minutes. Okay, let me just wrap this up, and we'll go to Q&A. All right. Guys, please do follow me on Instagram and YouTube. We'll try to create a new content and YouTube content soon, hopefully. That's my Instagram, Kelvin Montalvo. I'm also in Facebook. Please don't be shy and say hi, hello to me. Okay, so now we'll go to question and answer. We'll try to answer each individual here. Where was I? Okay, I see photographs, post. Yes, that's correct. Okay, 50, all right. APS like 50 is so good for video. Yes, it is. I do have a Z50. I do have a C50, which is a crop sensor. The second video demo was shot on a Z50. I always believe that it's not the one, it's not the person, it's the person using it. So regardless of what equipment you're using, even if it's Stone Age, yes, you'll have difficulty. But if you're creative enough and you do understand the basic, you will be able to manage to shoot technically awesome shots. So there's a saying that it's not the archer, it's not the arrow, but the archer. So same principle in photography and in videography. So regardless of equipments or gears that you have, it's always the one using it. Yes, I agree. It's nice to have good gears. It's nice to have a Z50. It's nice to have a Z6. It's nice to have a Z7 or a D850. But if you don't have it, and if you have a tight budget, especially nowadays, let's make use of that existing equipment and fully utilize them and practice your skills at home. So on the next session, we'll be covering that and how to fully utilize your existing equipment. Okay, hi Marvin, hi Ernest, watching the second video. How is the 5600 video? Yes, Koji. Technically, it's, as I've said, it's always the archer, not the arrow. So it's always the one using it. It helps to have a good equipment, but I'm okay with even if I use that. Okay, concept, story, the story. All right, stability, clarity, ideas, music. There's a bit delay on the chat. I'm an event photographer and a wedding videographer. Okay, shows the feelings. Yes, agree. Story behind the video and the music. Yes, agree. Music fills the story. Yes. Copyright of the music. Yes, we'll be tackling that in the later stage with audio and music, where we download and how we select the files, how we visualize the storyline of the video. We do purchase the music. We buy everything. Yes, of course. We got sued for one of a video which we did for a big company. We got sued for $1 million US. So please don't pirate music. Some copyrights, please do read those copyrights as well, because those are very important. Sometimes it depends on the company, the number of employees in the company. So do read those. And sometimes it just for YouTube or social media, the licensing. I was referring to licensing. So we'll cover that. We'll tackle that in the I can't hear you sessions. How many minutes should we do the promo for long day, full day wedding? Gada. We do have we do two videos, which is the 3-minute and the 1-minuter. 3 minutes is basically for family because they wanted everything there. And 1 minute is for the clients to look, to upload in social media. That's advertising for us as well. So it's standard. We give them a 60-second video. So it helps. What's transition you use in wedding video highlights? I don't. I seldom do crossfade and cuts, nothing fancy. We don't do the fast transition, which is kind of because everyone's using it. Again, as I've said in the start, if it's an ordinary shot, or if everyone is using it, we're not going to use it because that's so cliche. We rather create the fad or create a new shot or invent a new shot than let people follow. Then once people start following it, we change the style again. We change the approach of shooting again. For the wedding, frame rate, you're using 50 for all day. Yes, we do. Since we're in Dubai, we use 50 frames per second. I don't use 24 on weddings because some people won't appreciate the film effect. There's a bit jittery in that. We'll tackle that in the later session as well. So we do 50 frames. If I shoot in Asia or in the US, I do 60 frames. If I need to slow-mo it, I increase the frame rate to 120. But we can't use short videos to give ideas and too difficult to at least 60 seconds. Yes, I said that's a challenge. But nowadays, people only watch 60 seconds video. That's so seldom. It's so seldom that the client would request 3-minute video nowadays. Everyone's just using 60 seconds. That is where script writing and script writing, what do you call this? This is where script writing is needed. Okay, this is where you create or convey the story. You need a script writer to create all those stories. So there's another technique on doing short clips for 1 minute. If there's so many details to it, you do it in 3 parts. So you do part 1 basically on the video, it's just 1 minute, and another one is another minute and another minute. So that's 3 parts in a different segments of each part. So I hope you get what I mean. So cut it down into 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, but it's a totally different video. That makes it more interesting. So what's your favorite Nikon DSLR for wedding and why? Okay. My favorite DSLR is, I use both. I use 3 actually. I have a D850. I have 4 technically. I have a Z50, D850, Z6, and a Z7. And technically all the rest of the Nikon cameras. Primarily, I use the C7 for photo, and because I'm a combo shooter. I shoot photo and video. So I switch easily because if I need a higher resolution, I would use the C7. If it's at the dance floor or just party or just events or taking documentary shots, I use the C6. I seldom use my D850 nowadays because having a mirrorless saves you a lot of time in focusing, especially with the upgrade of the firmware 3.0. The eye focusing and the face focusing is so fast and it's so efficient. My D850 is technically a backup. A Z50 is also a backup. So if you ask me, if I shoot photo and video as combo, I'll use the C7. If I just shoot video, I'll use the Z6. Between 18-140 and a 35, which is best for video? I would go for the 35, but again, we'll explain that in the gear section in the later stage on why and how we're going to use all those lenses and what part of the event and what part of the video you're going to use it and why is it efficient in that way. What's your take of the Z8750? The D780 is technically for users who are currently thinking of switching to a mirrorless and is really hesitant. I have the D870 as well. I'm not using it. It's one of my staff is using it. So it's a combo. It's a hybrid. So for people who wanted the focusing of the Z series and wanted the focusing of the DSLR and cannot get away with it, will use this. Let's say the dad is the D750 and the mom is the C6. They had a baby and the baby is the D780. That's the easiest explanation that I could give. It's a hybrid camera. It's really really awesome. It's light, it's fast, but again, I um, some people would complain that the focusing issue. There's a focusing issue with the Z. Um, let's uh, let's put it this way: the moment those two animals, those two beasts, which is the D8, let's say DSLR and a mirrorless, are totally different. If your mindset is the focusing of a DSLR and you're using a mirrorless, you're gonna miss focus. Okay, so if you're thinking the spot focus and all that on a mirrorless, you're gonna miss the focusing. The moment I drop that idea that I'm still gonna apply the focusing of a DSLR to a mirrorless, that's when I really appreciated the mirrorless. So I find it strange when people say, I can't focus, it's hard to focus. They tend to forget that there's a touch screen in the camera. Touch, focus. If you can't focus, you still touch it. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So I really find it strange, and what's the fuss on the internet about it? So yeah. Uh, what are your favorite lenses? Yes, Mohammed Sulaiman Suli. Again, we'll be discussing that. But I use 35 and 50 most of the time. Yes, Sharif, I think I've answered the same question. It's 35 and the 50. Those are two favorites, but I have all the lineups. Z6, Ibis, and all that. We'll do a demo. I'll show you how stable it is. We do seldom use gimbals in most of our shots lately. That's why I prefer, yeah, the Z6, the gimbal, the stabilization is superb. Is it okay? I'm not sure, Isa, what is it okay to make video? I guess it is. So I'm not sure what are you referring to. Frames per second and how to decide which to use. Hi, David King. Yeah, it really depends on why are you gonna use it for? What are you gonna use it for? You want the film effect, you go 24. You want the slow mo, you go to 120. Again, it doesn't matter. You're watching it, and the delivery is if the delivery is in YouTube, why would I care? I'm a very non-technical person. At the end of the day, I just want to do and create awesome videos or awesome photos. I don't mind the frame rates. Yes, it helps, but why bother on the technical side when you're worried about where I'm more worried about the angles, the shots, the creativity, the story, the audio, the lighting of that day rather than my settings. Yes, the setting helps a lot. It creates the story as well, the mood of the story, but I don't bother those. Now, how can you see the best photos in these noticeable? Hi, Shadi. Unfortunately, we're in a video session, so I wouldn't be able to help you on the photo sessions. That answer on my query. All right. If you're good, is there a good camera that you're not using? Is there a good camera that you're not using? The Nate, nah, I'm selling it. I use Z50 for wedding and I want to change the mirrorless. What do you prefer? Try to test it first because it's a transition. It's a big transition from full frame to a mirrorless. That's why I've said you need to drop the mentality of the focusing system of the D8, the DSLR once you move to mirrorless. So if you're okay with it, upgrade to a D780. That is more appropriate, and you don't have to worry about lenses and all that since you have the mirrorless. You have the DSLR already. Oh yes, it's hard comparing between DSLR and mirrorless, but I try to handle between and using it new. All right, thanks, God. All right, please do. Uh, we're about to wrap up now. Is there any additional questions? I hope you learned something today. We'll go into, since this is just an introductory session, we'll go into a more detailed breakdown of all the lessons, of all the talks that we're going to do. So the next session would be on April 12th. Please feel free to ask more questions. I'll still be answering them. To buy or not to buy, the camera essentials. So if you don't have a camera, let's buy something. If you have an existing camera, let's put in use. Let's use that. Let's maximize that and not spend money. Yes, of course. Who doesn't want to do sales to increase sales of Nikon, right? But again, let's maximize that. Let's put that the full potential of it, the 3500s, the 5300s, the 7000 series. Let's put that in use and let's maximize those. Okay, wait, where am I? All right, which model and lens is best for indoor basketball? Poor lighting. Emanuela Shepherd. I use the 7200 2.8 at ISO 5000 or sometimes 10,000. But again, I'm using mirrorless. I'm using a D850 and Z6 or Z7, so it's unfair to the slightly lower models because I could go up as 5,000 or even 8,000 and 10,000. I don't know what your camera is, Emanuela, so it would help to please, if guys, if you have extra question, please do include your camera and your lens, so it'll be easier to suggest. In low light combo, which OS? Good model. I think camera. I think you're referring to camera models and lens. Um, Z6, Z50 is okay. I could shoot low light, but if you're like extremely low light, again, it boils down to, I guess we'll be discussing this in the camera essentials, this topics of what cameras to use and how to use them and all that. So there's a deep explanation to this, so it'll be easier to understand as well. Yeah, I would use the Z6 in low light, and I'm okay with the 2470 f4. Why f4? Because I don't need the depth. I don't need the 2.8 blurriness, if you put it that way, if a non-technical term. I don't need those. I'm okay with the f4, and I could go ISO 5000 on it. Okay, where was I? Low light combo. How do you manage your S time using SDE? Marvin, I think in the Middle East, it's not so much applicable on the SDE. SDE stands for same day edit. We do that on all our weddings. We have 3 video shooters, so it's a cycle. I think this subject matters would go into the workflow. You could ask me again in some of the sessions on how we do the same day edit. Guys, again, I'll explain same day edit. Is in the wedding day, we finish the video or the highlight video on the dinner time. So we show that video of what's happening on the full day. So it's a basic workflow. It's fast, efficient, and there's no time to talk. There's no time to miss out. There's no time to eat on those periods. So it's basically that. That's why I keep on telling people, shoot it right, so do less in post. Isa, yes, 5300 is okay for start. I don't mind. How can you join to buy or not to buy? It'll be next week. To buy, same channel. It'll still be here. Nikon Live, Nikon MEA/live. So it'll still be there. It's still the same channel. We'll just post it here. Z6 is better. Z6 is better than Z7. In video, yes, but in photo, no. So it's a different beast. I can't do 4K raw recording on the Z7, so I'm using the Z6. I like the Z7 when using for photos because there's more function to it rather than the Z6. The Z6 was designed for majority for video use rather. What's the most difficult wedding you have covered? Uh, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I think I'll create a new talk for that. How to how do you deal with problematic client? I guess that will be a different session. There's so much to discuss on this topic alone. I could talk for 4 hours along this topic, how to deal with irate clients. Okay. Okay, Emanuela, 5300 85 lens. I seldom use my 85. I'm not happy with my 85 in a way that it's too tight for me. I can't shoot properly with an 85. With a Even if the hotels here in Dubai are so big and I have space, it's still too tight for me. So that's why I use the 35 and the 50. I use the 85 on the dance floor on if I want tighter shots. But if I put it in percentage, let's go back to FAQ. So I'm still on FAQ. Oops, sorry. If I put it in a way that a percentage usage, I rather use the 35 and the 50. So it's more of 45% 35 millimeter, 45% 50 millimeter, and the rest are the rest of my lenses. Is it tackle photography as business? We're currently covering video right now. Most probably you could request that at Nikon to do that session on how to run a business. I do have the previous talks of dealing with from A to B, A to Z, to start off from accounting software, managing the clients, submitting codes and all that. We do that as well. The Nikon page would attach the time. Yes, it is attached on the time. It's there. Everything is there. It's just a matter of reading them and or locating them. So it's there. It's still 7 p.m. next week. So same time next week. It's there. It's there. Everything, all the details and the timings are there. Which session will you share the angles and directions? Good question. I can't remember even my class. So I'll look into that. So please do review those. I'm not familiar with the C6500. I'm sorry. Is there a 6500? I'm not sure. I just switched from Nikon 3 years ago, so I'm a different brand user. Again, Marvin, this is more of shooting style and technique, so let's discuss that in a later stage. When you start creating video, do you choose the music first and match the video? Unfortunately, it's nice to do that. If it's a corporate, we discuss that. If it's a corporate event, we discuss the music. But if it's a wedding, it really depends. It usually takes half a day or full day to select a good music. So, yeah, why am I wearing headphones? It takes half a day. Yeah, it's better with headphones. It takes half a day to full day in selecting a good music. So, yeah, it takes some time. All right. Oh, I'm over time. Anyways, guys, any more questions? I could still extend a few more minutes just to entertain a few more questions, but most of the questions would be discussed in the later sessions in 10 weeks, times. Yes, I wish I put the summary of all the classes, but again, apologies. Let me try to find that session. Okay, is there any more questions so we could wrap it up? Need source to teach the basic photography from you. Are you available and join you? I'm not sure if I have basic photography sessions. I do free sessions sometimes, but it's in the Nikon Philippines page. Let me see. I don't know. Let's ask Nikon if we can produce basic photography again. But there are a lot of instructors for Nikon as well doing the basic photography. All right, thanks, Gada. Thanks, everyone. I guess we're all good. Yes, thank you, everyone. This is the end of our session. I do hope you enjoyed and you learned something today. Stay home, stay safe. I hope this would end soon. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.